What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to GmiasWorld, and today we're going to be talking more about EA's Wild MUT Coins exploit, bro. There's a lot of ways that you're going to be able to make millions, and I'm trying to make sure that as many of you guys know about it before it actually launches. Now, look, this is the situation, right? We got about 3 months left, and if you don't have at least 10 million coins, you're going to have to find a way to get that, get those coins for rookie premieres. If you don't know what rookie premieres are, let me know in the comment section. We will talk about it in future videos as it gets closer. But pretty much it's just like a head start in the next Madden. And in order to get it done in this Madden, to have it for Madden 26, it's gonna cost you a lot. So you gotta be ready to do all that stuff. All right, so we're gonna talk about a few things that I've been doing as of late. You're gonna notice that I'm down like 3 or 4 million. I've been experimenting with my team. We will get to that in a second. But I do wanna point out, right, just so that people know, all of the tokens for the AKA, free cards and everything like that are inside of solo seasons. Now, in my opinion, this has been an L for EA Sports because many people are not playing it. There's a lot of people that just don't play it. They're so used to solo battles, they don't even go and look for solo seasons. So for them to switch it to this was a major problem. Plus the fact that it doesn't stay consistent. Like, you have to do it weekly, and it's more of a thing where you have to always log into it. I think that they may go away from that, or knowing EA Sports, they may double down on it and keep going with it. But the reason that I point that out is, again, if you are a no money spent player and you're looking for cards just to be able to, have high overalls and B&Ds and stuff like that, you can use those tokens to get 99 overall cards. Like, the set is literally there for AKA icons. So whether or not you got lucky from playing, the MUT champs mode, or, playing MUT drafts and you pull something crazy from a pack, you can always use a B&D in place of something else that you have that is auctionable. That, I can't even, listen, bro, when I started to do that and started to understand, because like I said, initially when B&D started years ago, I completely hated it, right? But that's the only benefit to it, is to be able to keep the card in other ways and get rid of other cards that you may have gotten different ways that are auctionable, and you still maintain the same strength of your squad. That's pretty much what it is. So I just want to make sure everybody is aware of that situation. Now, let's talk about a few things. All right, let's go ahead and make sure that we understand what's going on. This right here, you got a couple days left to do. All right, I ran through a couple of them today. The packs are not as good, and pretty much you're gonna average for 5 games, maybe around, let me see, I would probably say like 400K, because I did get a lot more 93s than 96s. I did pull 197 though. So when you go flawless, there is a chance that you will get a 99, like you could probably pull Carter. I don't think any of the limiteds are there, but that's gonna still be going crazy for the next couple days. That is an instant moneymaker. I gotta make sure I keep telling you guys that, because if you can't play regular head-to-head and get that done, it's gonna be easier to do this. Now, people in head-to-head are cheating. I was just blowing a guy out by like 93 or something like that. That guy, Emerald Terps, he's on Xbox. I've already submitted his information to EA, but they glitch in that mode. Like in the other modes, I haven't seen it really, and that's what's weird about the game. Certain modes you can't really do the same things in. The regular head-to-head, it looks like you still can DC glitch, because you can see I was up 83-5, but that has not happened to me in Gauntlet, or I think ranked, for whatever reason. I don't know. Head-to-head is always something crazy. So I would urge you guys, to understand, like, don't play around with that. It's something that I don't know if EA is going to be really able to fix. So we have to make sure that we're all aware of it. But that guy, once you see his name, he's totally trash. He is going to try to glitch you. Like, once you go up, it's going to be real nasty. All right, so just understand that. But that also gives you between 350 to 400K a season. But you can use your regular MUT team, so it may be harder to actually go ahead and get, coins from it, because people have their actual regular teams. MUT draft just works better because everything is random. So you may get a good draft, you may not. You might be able to get something good for one draft that you didn't for another, but you can always have the opportunity to get lucky, because both of the players, on both sides don't have the things that they want. So I would definitely urge you guys to do that. Now, let's get down to the nitty gritty, right, bros? The cards that are really, hold on, why did I exceed items? Why is this guy not sold yet? All right, give me a second, bro. I don't know why I have 1,200 items right now. All right, so this dude right here, 82, 83. All right, let's get, 87. Peace out, Miles Garrett. All right, so look. Inside of the sets, right? Like, what are the most lucrative sets going on right now? What is everybody still buying? The two things that people are still buying are the all-star athletes and the some of the Sugar Rush cards. Now there's only a few of them, like Frederick and stuff like that, that are actually going to sell, but their prices are relatively low. But this is what I've been doing, right? When I go over here, I go ahead and I take a look at what the prices are here. Like, okay, this guy, but these are limited, so don't worry about the limiteds. Any limited, don't worry about it. You're looking for all set cards. So the draft cards, some of the Sugar Rush cards, and obviously All-Star Athletes are still big. I love the All-Star Athletes though, because people are gonna still, I think that might be going on until the end of the year. I think EA overdid themselves with making this promo like way too good. So you'll see that all of the prices of the limiteds are still up, and these are gonna be lower because obviously, they're 98s and there's a bunch of 99s, but you can still make coin per pound, bro. Like if you just do their sets. It just depends on which cards you're trying to do and how you go about doing it. You also can sell the cards individually as 95s, okay? Because if you make the 95s, people are gonna spend more for it because they don't wanna go through the trouble of having to do the set. So that's another way to do it. Now, these cards you get from, playing the seasons, inside of the regular packs that you get from whatever modes you're playing that are auctionable. I would tell you that this is probably going to be pretty lucrative for you. We'll get to the set, actually doing the sets in a second. Now, the Sugar Rush, like I said, there's only certain cards that are good, and you have to go based on their value. All right? The limiteds, we know all about the limiteds, right? Now, when you get down to this part, like after all the limiteds are done, you get to the point of right here, okay? Where everything is in the 200s, right? And you're like, yo, gee, how am I going to make coins? It doesn't really matter that they're in the 200s and the 300s. It matters what it costs for the set. That's all that really matters. What does it cost for the set? All right. The third one is obviously the draft. Now this one would make the most sense because you can use it in both the NFL draft night and NFL draft, right? You could do the set for either or. They split it up with draft night by having it go from, from the picks, the actual picks, but all of these are pretty much lucrative. All right. It just depends on the kind of cards that you have. So if you have higher end cards because you've been grinding MUT drafts, I would urge you, okay? I would actually urge you to go and do only the draft sets. If you've been playing regular head to head and you have a bunch of, trash cards that you're trying to get rid of, you could do the other ones. Sugar Rush, All-Star Athletes, stuff like that, and put together the sets and sell the cards. Now, because this is the most current, you're going to see a lot of the cards in the 600s, 700s, stuff like that. Drake London is probably, I would think, one of the more lucrative cards because he gets built in double me and he has the height. So when you go over to the set for the NFL draft, it's very, very self-explanatory what you have to do. Now look, because I've been grinding the draft mode, I have a bunch of cards that I can just go ahead and finish up and make these sets and complete the 96s and ultimately get 99s. It may be harder for you to do so because you have difficulty playing the draft, which means that you're gonna have to grind the other mode. Because you can't have it both ways. If you're going to look to grind the game, you're going to have to be able to figure out ways to get these wins. Not like the guy that I showed you earlier. What's that guy's name? Let me go back and look at his name again. Where is he? The dude that cheated, like the dude that's out here DC glitching. You don't want to be like that guy. Like this guy right here, you want to win legitimately, bro. Like, yeah, okay, I'll moss you, but you do have the opportunity to stop it. Just don't be like Emerald Terps. That dude is wild. But listen, getting back to the situation, right? You can pick whichever one you want, but go by what goes in to the packs. All right. So I showed you the NFL draft, right? This is the draft night. Now you use similar cards as the NFL draft, so you could do this one as well. All right. Depending on if you grind in the draft mode. If you are not grinding the draft mode, you are going to be looking to do All-Star Athletes or Sugar Rush. All right. Sugar Rush is very, very cheap and like at this point, so it's kind of hard to kind of figure out what you would be able to do. But this one is very, very lucrative. And you can start from the 89s with the low level cards and build it up the way that I do, like here, and keep going up and up and up. The 95s are averaging selling for about 125, 150. So depending on how much you get, the cards that you're making and stuff like that, you can make a lot utilizing that method right there. I have a lot more that I'm going to be sharing with you guys as we get closer. The reason that you avoid the AKAs is because of what I showed you with the solo seasons and the fact that everything is consistent with that promo. You can't use other cards in the AKA set. For those of you guys that are looking to figure out what's going on with that set and why I didn't mention it, Also, Javon Curse, the freak, they messed up his card. I would avoid that like the plague. All right, guys? So that's what I want you guys focused in right now. We're going to be talking soon about rookie premieres in the videos to come. Like, share, subscribe, and I'm going to see you guys next time. One love, y'all.